Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the team. What we're going to do today is we are basically post-COVID, which means that we're in level 1 of lockdown. Majority of people have gone back to work. So yeah, things seems to be quite normal out there. And so what we're going to do is have a look at how do we progress with our business from here on. And we put together a 5-step plan. We said, okay, let's have a look at those things that need to be done, those things that need to be avoided, and button that down so that at the end of the day, we all know exactly what it is that we need to do. And step number 1 is we need to decide whether we want to be rich or poor. And I know it sounds like a very simple question. Do I want to be rich or do I want to be poor? But the thing is, you need to ask that question each and every day. You see, because each and every day when you get up, based on the decision, am I going to be rich or am I going to be poor? That will determine the activities that's going to go into that day. So if you decide I'm going to be poor, that's fine, just hang around, etc., and no problem, and you will be poor. But if you say, listen, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, then you need to put some activities into it to actually create that wealth. And we always say that he who controls himself controls the game. And that's very, very important, you see, because when you control yourself, you control your actions, you control the things that you do on a daily basis, and that will give you the results at the end of the day. So my friend Daniel always says, you know, there's a difference between being poor and having a cash flow problem. Cash flow problem is temporary. You know, you're just lacking a little bit of cash. But poor is it's a state of mind, it's a disease, and that is something that will affect the rest of your life. So keep that in mind. It's the same as, like he always says, it's the same as do it and frack. We're all going to die one day, but nobody wants to frack. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You've got to make that decision on a daily basis. And based on that decision, that will determine exactly what you will do with that day. Will you invest it or will you waste it? Now, the reason why we do it is very, very simple. I mean, if we look around us, there's a very, very scary forest out there. And that forest consists of the economy, the politics, the whatever is there is basically out there to get the better of you. And what we want is we want a good, solid retirement. We want a retirement that's going to be problem-free, with all the provisions in place, etc. Stress-free living, getting up and having a wonderful day, and you know your finances are sorted. It's not a problem. Everything is protected. Your finances is protected. Your family is protected, and you've got a great future. And that's what you want to secure. And of course, a quality lifestyle. I mean, guys, why are we doing this? We're not doing this because we're just funny. We want that lifestyle of choice, and that family time. I mean, it's, you know, there are people out there that are making obscene amounts of money. But the question is, how many hours a day do they actually spend to earn that income? And where does your life come into it? So yeah, we say that quality family time and being happy, being in a happy place where you enjoy life and you appreciate everything that's happening around you. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to leave a legacy. We want to make a difference. Okay, now, with that said, we basically know the decision that we need to make, and we know what it is that we want out of the system. And then step number 2 is, what did we learn from COVID-19? I mean, nobody predicted it. It came along like a storm, and it hit us basically head on. And what did we learn from COVID-19? Now, if we look at, well, first of all, it was unexpected. I mean, nobody predicted COVID-19. And when we saw where we were all wearing masks and social distancing and all that stuff. So basically what we're saying is that what we've learned from it is that be prepared for the unexpected. Guys, there are so many things that's in the pipeline that we do not know how it's going to pan out, etc., etc. Keep that in mind. You know, and there's an old saying, you know, dig your well before you're thirsty. And basically what we're saying is prepare yourself for something that might never happen. I mean, it's like insurance on your car, the insurance on your house. You take it out and you hope and pray that you're never going to use it. You don't want to lose your car. You don't want to wreck your car, but you have that cover. And the cover that we're talking about here is being mentally prepared for things that might happen. And we hope and pray that they never, ever going to happen. Okay, and just adopt that do or die attitude. You know, if your livelihood depends on it, then do it. Uh, even, I don't want to go that far, but even if it kills you, but do it. If you render it to be important enough, then go and do. Now, when we say go and do, you need to adapt, because a lot of people say, I want to do that, but I don't want to do this way. I would like to do that, but I don't like the way it's being done. You need to adapt. If you don't adapt, if you look at what COVID taught us, the people that went digital, the people that went online are the people that prospered. Those are the people that came out the other side. Well, not that we're out the other side yet, but they came out smiling. They're smiling on roses. Again, the people that did not adapt, those are the people that they actually expired in the process. Okay, and we need to read the trends, and you need to keep on top of it on a daily basis. And then we highly suggest that you subscribe to good sources of information where people are analytical. They're not biased. They're not like one-sided. They're going to give you both sides of the coin, and read those trends and stay within those trends, because that is where the money is. If you can ride those trends and you can ride that wave, you're going to make it. And because of that, where trends are changing from day to day, you need to constantly adjust your sales. So if you find that this is not working because the trend is going down and there's another one picking up, just change the weight. So you keep on tuning, you keep on making sure that you are aligned with those trends. And that's where we say you need to stay informed. You need to get the good quality information. And a great source of that is actually the business. Because if you look at the business, it's not just one of those that's focused on putting money in the bank, etc. It's there to educate and to help the people. So, for example, like the Zoom meetings that we have, I mean, if you look at the discussions, there's always something that's added of value, something that you can take away and say, this is awesome. And don't just believe anything that you hear. Go and investigate it. Make sure, I mean, that's why the Lord gave us that great stuff, is to think with, not just to sit around and look pretty. Now, if you look at that quote, in challenging times, one must question the accepted reality because things are going wrong. You need to question the methods. You need to question the recipe that you've been using. Rapid answers are needed, and the solution may well be found outside the usual compass. You see, because a lot of people, when they see the business, they go like, oh, but I don't like those things. It's not a case of liking it. The question is, does it work? That is the only question. Does it work? And if the answer is yes, adjust your sales, get in there, change, or adapt or die, or you're not going to make it. Okay, so that looking at that and adjusting it constantly and saying, is the solution working? Get to the next one. Okay, and constantly adjusting those sales. Okay, but there are also things that we need to avoid. I mean, recall that picture of the forest with a scary tree and everything in it. These are things that can actually really, really hurt you. And we said avoid stepping on that landmine because you can lose a limb or something. Okay, now things will return to normal. That is a huge landmine. It's like people, and there's a very, very good book, and I highly suggest that you go and read it. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? And in Who Moved My Cheese, it's a very easy read. You're going to read it in about 45 minutes. It's about mice that are searching for cheese in a maze. So and the one mouse said, I'm going to stay here. Things need to go back to normal. I want my cheese. Guys, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to change. Things will not return to normal. Avoid that landmine. I will start working next year. That's fine if you want to do that. But what you're going to lose, I mean, if you look at what we achieved since the lockdown started up to now within the business, we had the best months in the business in that period. Now you can sit back and say, okay, guys, I'm going to start next year. That's fine. You're going to lose a big chunk of your business, potential business, because you are saying, I'm going to start next year. Okay, and I don't need this. I don't want to sound like biased or anything, but I firmly believe that everybody needs this, because you do not know what the future holds. And I mean, if let's say another catastrophe comes along like COVID-19, and let's say on the side you're earning 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 a month, 500,000 a month, and you lose your income, you lose your conventional business, will that extra money that you're earning on the side, will that make a difference? And the question is absolutely yes. We all need it. This is insurance. This is like a parachute that Dani always says. This is the parachute that will keep you out of the gemors when something like that comes along. Yes, we definitely do need it. Okay, and then spending time on stuff that's not viewpoint. You know, and there will always be things that are going to, we call them costly curves. Those are things that come to distract you. Those are things that look so attractive. And then you find like 6 months later that it was not as attractive as you actually thought. Yeah, we're looking at a 5-year recipe. You know exactly what to expect because you've got a track record of the company, you've got a track record of the people within the business, and you know exactly what to expect. So this is where you need to spend the time if you're really serious about your future. Okay, and then slowing down in the last quarter. I mean, I'm so excited when I think about Christmas, apart from the fact that the company is taking us on another 5-star gallivanting in the Western Cape, etc. Because if you look at what economists are saying, they say it's going to be the worst Christmas that South Africans ever had. Now, what does it mean? That means you're going to have people sitting at home that don't want to be at home. They want to be somewhere out and about. They want to go and have a great holiday, but they don't have the money to actually do that. Okay, so we've got a captive audience. We've got people sitting there that cannot spend the money on the Christmas that they wanted to spend. These are people that are frustrated. And we come and we say, we've got the solution for you. So please, 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 do not make the mistake to say, well, everybody's now in holiday mood. Nobody is open to actually do looking at the business. What we did, and I'm going to share some personal stuff with you. You know, when we were running for rank 11 for the car, we needed 2,000 products in our business. We actually turned on 1,998 products the 1 month. And then we dropped off back to 1,600 products. Okay, why? Because we actually decided we're going to slow down a little bit because we thought we made it, which we didn't. Okay, and then the beginning or the end of 2019, towards around about October, but around about the same time as now, we decided that's it. Now we're going to get stuck into it. We are going to make it happen. Okay, and the fact that we actually started in October, we had a brilliant December and a great January, such that in the beginning of March, we got the message, go and choose your car. We exceeded the 2,000 products. We're now sitting on nearly 2,500 products. Okay, and we were hovering there, etc., and we were just 2 products short. When we went past it, we went past it with a vengeance. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Do not slow down the end of the year. And then looking for something that's faster or easier. You know, it's like when you look at nature and you look at things growing, the things that are worthwhile takes time to grow and time to mature, etc. But it's there years after. And the Rendera harvest, that's going to be there year after year after year. Okay, so when you look at, again, look at the track record, look at where it comes from, look at how long it's been around, look at how people are performing within that. Before you make a call and say, this looks like easier and this looks like faster than viewpoint, because I firmly believe there is no business currently available to South Africans just by being a product owner with no capital investment that you can actually go and do that will give you a permanent income for the rest of your life and thereafter. Okay, and then the last one is, my job is secure. Ask the 3 million people that lost their jobs whether they thought their job was secure prior to COVID. And they will say that, I thought I was fine. I was working for a big company and I was doing well. And then all of a sudden the company said, well, COVID, sorry, we're not making money. We've got to close the doors. And maybe we're never going to open those doors again. Go and ask them whether their job was secure. Today, your biggest risk is having one single source of income, because that can be taken away just like that. Today you think you have it, tomorrow totally gone. Okay, point number 4, control. Okay, now there are things that you can control and things that you can't control. Just have a look at that. Having control of your life is not being able to choose what happens, because life happens to you. You know the old saying, life happens to you while you're planning other things. It's about being able to deal with what happens to you. Again, the quote, he who controls himself controls the game. So things are going to happen to you, and how you react to that, how you actually control your reaction, that will determine what the outcome is going to be. Now, stay in control. Stay focused on your dream that you can control. Now, that dream's got to be so real. That dream, it should be a goal by now. It should have a date, and you should have a plan how you actually want to get to it. And those things, the biggest goal that made you start this business, that is usually the one that keeps you going. That's the one that if you put your finger on your pulse and you think about that goal, your pulse starts to accelerate. It's those things that really, really make magic. Okay, now when you think about your biggest goal, the reason when you started, you said, I can see that I can buy that 911 GT3. I can see that I can live somewhere on an island and have a villa there, etc. You can see that and you believe that. Now, when you look at that biggest dream, how will it feel if you do not achieve it? That means you can physically now get up and you go to your dream chart and you say, that thing there, I'm going to put a line through it. I will never, ever achieve it. Okay, how would you feel if you do that? Would it feel like death? Because to me, that will definitely feel like death. Okay, and then the second question is, if you do not use Viewpoint as the tool to actually achieve that goal, what else will you use? What other tool do you currently have available? Until something else comes along that's better and more permanent than Viewpoint, then get stuck into this, because this will take you step by step to your goal. Okay, now goals are, without goals, you're flying blind. That is like getting in the car and say, okay, we are going somewhere, but you don't know where you're going. So you keep on driving, you know you're always going to hit your target because you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. Now, it's exactly the same thing. When you fly blind, you don't have any direction, no milestones, no measurables. You don't know whether you're getting closer or further away from your goal, whether you're on track, off track, etc. So goals are things where you say, this is what I want it by that date, and these are the actions and the things that I'm going to put into it, and halfway down there, I want to be there, etc. So it becomes measurable, and you can, at the end of the day, see exactly where you are. Okay, and then, of course, the second thing that you need to stay in control of, okay, are those things that you do have control over, and that is the quality of your message. Now, we're fortunate. When we look at the quality of our message, we're looking at two different components. The first one is the message that you send out to people to get them curious to come and watch and see what it is that we do. That's called the approach. Okay, now you have control over the quality of that message. If you do a good one, people will come and have a look. If you do a bad one, people will most probably not come and have a look. So you have control over the quality of that message. The second message, it's the way the business is presented. And that is where the company actually met us and said, okay, we will do the presentation. All that you need to do is connect people to the video, connect people to the information, which is really, really professional. I mean, I've seen, we make it our job to actually go and investigate other businesses, and we've seen like really, really piss poor presentations. This is professional. I mean, if you look at Brendan and Rob, they do really, really great presentations. So that quality is taken care of. The only one that you need to worry about is the quality of the message to get the people to come and have a look. Okay, then it's the frequency of that message. You can have the best quality message that actually rocks, and you don't share it with anybody. Guess what? You're going to get zero returns. Okay, so those two things, the quality of your message and the frequency of the message, that will determine the rate of growth within your business. And then, of course, your own belief system. You have full control over that. And I always say to people, it's what you feed in there. It's the stuff that you put in there that will determine your own belief system. I mean, it's like anything in life. The devil actually thrives on doubt. The devil plants a seed of doubt, single seed of doubt in your mind. Okay, and it starts to germinate and it totally destroys your belief system. Now, my belief system in this business is so rock solid. Why? Because I made it my job to find out everything about the business. Not only the business, the people that are running the business. it took me from February, when I started in 2016, all the way up to September before I actually got started in the business. So we went out there and we really investigated everything. That is why I say I've got a belief system that's unshakable, because it's based not on feelings, it's not based on emotion, it's based on facts. Okay, so my belief system in the company, everything that they promised since the day that they launched until today, they delivered on. If they said this is what we're going to do, they didn't only do that, they did better than that. So my belief system in the company, rock solid. The products, they're great products. We don't sell the products, but I mean, to me, at the same time, I don't want to get involved in something that doesn't add value, whatever people actually buy from the company. Now, when you look at the products, they class leading products. I mean, go and try and find R1 million worth of accidental death cover for a guy like me that's 66 years old. I don't know how many of you realize that your life cover on your credit cards to settle the outstanding debt ceases at the age of 65. Why? I don't know, because old people die. I guess that's the reason. Now, yeah, for 249 Rand, a person of 120, 130, regardless of age, with pre-existing conditions, can get R1 million worth of cover. Go and find anything in the marketplace that competes with that. Okay, and then in management, you know, when you look at Rob and Brendan and the rest of the team at the office, those guys, you know, if there's a presentation, they're the first day and they're the last to leave. And I said to Marcia, you know, if you look at what they put into the business and what they do, and listen, these guys are clever. They sharp. My belief system in these guys that are prepared to work that kind of hours and to put that kind of effort into it, I can walk with them. And then, of course, the law of averages. Guys, the law of averages said, we're not the only people that think this way. There are other people out there that think exactly the same way. People that say, listen, I'm fed up with the status quo. I don't accept this. I want something better out of life. And those are the people that we need to attract to this business. People that are prepared to get off their butts and go and do something except sit and moan and bitch. Those are the people that we want as part of the business. And therefore, my belief system is there are thousands of other people that think like me. And all that I need to do is I need to go and find them. I need to introduce them to the business. And then, of course, my belief in the team. We've got a brilliant team. I mean, I get so excited when I think about the team. These are guys, like I said, these are guys that are get up and go guys. These are guys, they show up and they dress up and they do the thing. So yes, my belief in the team, we've got the best team. I absolutely believe that. And then, of course, your attitude. If you've got a rotten attitude, don't expect a lot of people to go like, I like you kind of thing. Yeah, your attitude, and you have 100% control over that. And then, of course, your persistence. Now, if you don't believe, if you don't have that belief system, you will not have the persistence. For the simple reason is doubt will eat into it and it will totally destroy your business. Now, when you look at the compass, that compass is 360 degrees. Now, it's not like the story about the corporal in the army that had all the troops sitting there and he actually drew a circle with a stick in the sand. He said, troops, this is a 180-degree circle. And the one troop, he put up his hand and he said, Corporal, you mean a 360? He said, no, this is a small circle. Okay, now guys, that if you look at that little yellow line there, that is 1 degree. And we talk about the 1 degree rule. It's small adjustment that makes huge differences in your business. You see, for example, if we said you've got control over the quality of your message, and a lot of people just use the wrong words, or they say too much or whatever, and it's those small adjustments that actually make a huge difference. Now, we always say beware of the 1 degree rule. Now, if you look at it, if you leave from Joburg and you're traveling to Cape Town, let's say you could travel in a straight line. You don't need to go roadwise, you're flying like the bird flies, okay? And you're out by 1 degree, just 1 single degree. Effectively, what it would mean is that you would miss Cape Town by 25 kilometers. Guys, you're not going to see Cape Town. You're going to miss it totally. And that is just 1 single degree. Now, can you see, if you just change that 1 degree, and you make it 0 that you're out, you're going to hit your target. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's small adjustments, and always ask yourself, what I'm doing, does it get me closer to my goals? Now, we find people that are extremely busy. And you say to them, what are you busy with? I'm busy with a business. What are you busy? I'm making the pieces of paper, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Guys, Marshall and myself, we've got one single question that we ask ourselves. We say, what we're doing now, does it make money in the business? Does it grow my business? Does it make me better off? Or am I just doing window dressing? I'm just moving pieces of paper around and creating work for myself, but it's not moving me closer to reaching my goals. Now, what are the activities that takes you closer to reaching your goals? Those are the activities of, remember what you said, what you have control over is the quality of your message and the frequency of the message. You see, for the rest of it, all the tools are in place, how to develop people, and all those things are already put in place. So always ask yourself that question. Adjust those degrees, get it back to 0. How can I be better? How can I be just like great? If whenever we do something, we always do a post-mortem. We say, that's what we did. Now let's go back and have a look. How can we do it better the next time around? If you do that constantly, now Marsha, she's just one of those people. She takes me apart. She says, stop doing that. Don't say that and do this, etc. But you know what? I appreciate it because that makes me better. It means that next time around, I can do a better quality message, etc., etc. Okay, and then how can we be more effective? I worked for a manager, and he always said, be less efficient and be more effective. Now, guys, we can do the wrong thing, the total wrong thing, very efficiently, okay, and get 0 results. Or we can do it effectively and get the right results at the end of the day. Okay, then lastly, how do you know that Dew Point is the right thing? How do you know that you made the right decision when you said, that's it, I'm committed, I'm going to do Dew Point? Okay, and this is where we say you need to keep your eyes on the process. You need to know what it is that you're actually working for. Now, what has happened in Dew Point in the 56 months that it's been going? Wealth engineers have earned in excess of 25 million. I mean, it's 25 million is a lot of money. Trust me, 25 million is a lot of money. Went back to people that had different goals, that had different aspirations within the business. Some people said, listen, I just want an extra 1,000 rand a month just to cover the deficit that I had on my salary. The next guy said, listen, I want 5,000 because I want to buy a new car. The next person said, I want to be financially independent. I want to build something that's going to be, I want to leave a legacy to my kids, etc. But 25 million has already gone back to people like me and you, people that have made the decision. Now, keep in mind, I mean, year number 1 and year number 2, there were very few people that were making decent money. Okay, so the growth is actually starting now. So what's that figure over the next 56 months? It's not gonna double. It's gonna blow you away because now people are getting into serious money, etc. 4 rank 9 trips completed successfully. And I mean, it started off as 80,000 per family. It's now sitting on 180,000 per family. And Brendan shared with us in confidence. He said, most probably it's getting closer to 210 to 220,000 per family. How many of the people listening to this would be prepared to take of your own money, let's say 200,000 rand, and go and spend it on a family holiday of 7 days? Even though people have money, they will not do that because they will take that money and do something else with it. Yeah, it's paid for. Mom, dad, 2 kids. You just go on a Lani holiday, all expenses paid. You don't need to take any money. 5-star accommodation, business class flights. 4 of those have already been completed. 4 rank 11 cars handed out in the space of a little bit more than 4 years. I mean, what's going to happen in the next 4 years? I mean, there's another one in the wings. We might even have a 5th car this year. It's sitting in the wings, and you're going to see it one of these days where they're going to announce the winner of the next car. Okay, and then there's already one ranked 12 with another 3 in the wings. This is achieved within the first 5 years of Dew Point operating. Okay, and now what is in the future for us? What's in the next 5 years? Okay, rank 30, it's 1,000 rand cash. 100,000 Rand cash. And again, I mean, it's 100,000 Rand that's not part of your budget. It's not part of where you say, oh, yeah, that's got to pay this, etc. It's just there because you reached rank 13. Rank 14, Mediterranean cruise. I mean, like Brendan always says, he jokes about it. He says, you know, people get excited about the Mauritius holiday. He said, that's a cheap one. It's a cheap and nasty one. If you can believe that is cheap and nasty. The Med cruise, he says, if you want to go on a proper holiday, you need visas. Okay, so that's the one where you're going to need the visas. Okay, and then of course rank 16 is the next car, which is going to be a lot more expensive than the one on the rank 11. Rank 21, even more cars. And rank 26, yeah, there's a car of a couple of million. A couple of million. Okay, now soon you might see evidence of that car. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So that means if you're sitting here and you say, listen, I really want that lifestyle that a lot of people aspire to have. And guys, I'm telling you, this is going to happen. And people are going to look at you and they're going to go, yeah, you know, when you approached me 3 years ago or 5 years ago, I was busy with other stuff. You know, I was really climbing the corporate ladder. And yeah, and today, you're just lucky that you've got that lifestyle. It's got nothing to do with luck. It's got to do with making a good quality decision. Okay, and that decision is to do the business every day. Not like when you feel like it, etc. Because you're going to have the ultimate lifestyle if you prepare to invest what is required, what is necessary to make you successful at the end of the day. I mean, imagine living a lifestyle of choice, going on 4 holidays every year that's fully paid for. 4 holidays, not one, 4 of them. You're driving, let's say, a GT3 911, fully paid for. Didn't cost you a single cent paid by the company. Okay, you're making 500, 600, $1 million a month. That is a lifestyle of choice. That is when you start calling the shots. Okay, but yet you need to put the effort into it. It's not going to happen on its own. It's not an automatic process. You need to be prepared to put the effort into it. Okay, so in summary, number 1 is decide. Decide on a daily basis. Am I going to be wealthy or am I going to be poor? Okay, and that will determine your activities. And then learn from what is happening. Have a look at around you. Don't be ignorant. Stay informed. Avoid those landmines. Avoid those things that are going to knock you out of the business. I always say if a person goes into the forest and they know the scary stuff, they can avoid it. Now, though we've given you those landmines, avoid them. Okay, and then of course control the way you react to what happens to you. A lot of things are going to happen. People are going to say no, and you can either go like, well, people said no, I'm out of it, or alternatively, you can say, well, I'll show them. You see, because you have control over how you react to it. Okay, and then if you ask the question, am I doing the right thing? Look at the track record. Look at the future. And ask yourself, is there anything out there that offers me this kind of security, this kind of longevity? If I look at what the company offers and how long they've been around. Okay, and then if you feel that you're comfortable with that, commit. Okay, so just some suggested reading. It's My First Year Network Marketing by Mark and Renee Arnell. There's also an audiobook that's available on the internet, and it's absolutely amazing. Just 2 things that happened within that book. The one thing is he was walking on the beach, and he was look, he's very successful in network marketing within the industry, and he was walking on the beach, and there was a magic lamp, and he picked it up, and of course when he polished it, the genie came out and said, okay, you've got 1 wish. And he said to the genie, well, look, I'm in network marketing. Please, can you take me into the future, like a couple of years? I want to see what my organization, what my channel of distribution looks like. And when he got there, he said to the genie, but I don't recognize any of these people. And that is how the business starts. You start working with the people that are close to you, your friends and your family, people that you know. And you know what? Most probably they're going to fall by the wayside. They're not going to be there when you actually start really enjoying that lifestyle of choice, because they will be replaced by the people that they brought into the business and the people that they brought into the business that are total strangers to you at this point in time. But they will form the backbone of your business. And he made the statement. He said, you know, they interviewed people within the industry worldwide. And they asked them one question is, did you expect to make so much money from the business? He said, and as a rule, those people said, the people that were prepared to stay the term, the people that were prepared to see it out, those people said that they never ever expected to make the money that they made from network marketing. And it's purely because they were prepared to help that baby grow, to see it mature, and to see it deliver at the end of the day. Guys, that is then the end of our session, and we hope that what we've given you tonight is going to help you, especially through 2011, because that's going to be like the tail end. A lot of companies are still going to fold. Currently, they're hanging on to their bootlaces, and they're trying to make it work. But the unfortunate thing is a lot of them are still going to fold. A lot of people are still going to lose their jobs. And we want to be out there with a message of hope, saying, guys, it's not the end of the world. We've got something that can actually help and assist you. With that said, we really appreciate the fact that you attended tonight. And like I said, I really do hope that this will help you in 2021.